Got it? Cool, I already got one. Enjoy. Pass me the 3/8 though. Thanks. I got some good news and I got some bad news. What do you want to hear first? Right. Well, our place exploded, along with most of our things. But our place exploded, along with most of our things, which means no fingerprints. Cool. Watch out real quick. As of right now, happy is probably the farthest word I would use to describe my boss. So, we got some work to do. Got the keys? Cool. Get in. You know, I remember when Florida first bought this car. I was trying to convince her to get something else. I was telling her how in these AP2s, when you're driving in second gear, it'll pop out on you. That, and you might still have some spring spacers in your suspension from the shipping, the soft top is loud as heck, you gotta torque the axle nuts to 200 foot-pounds. I mean, I was trying to tell her to just get a Miata or something. A 370 or an 86 or maybe even a Challenger, but no. Just something about these little Hondas and their heat bubble dashboards. You know, back in the old days, when people used to ride horse-drawn carriages, the driver and the passenger, they'd get splashed and dirty from the mud that the horse would kick up. It's called getting dashed. So people started putting boards in front of them to protect them. Call them dashboards. Hey, hand me that, will you? Thanks. Want one? When was the first time you ever drove a car? Right. Mm-hmm. Really? Really? First time I ever drove a car? Well, it wasn't really even a car. No, I took my dad's truck to the local farmer's market and I sold his corn. That was a good day. When was the first time you ever saw a car and thought something more than it's just a car? Really? Right. Naturally. Right. First time I ever really thought anything like that It was probably like 8 p.m. I had just gotten home from the graduation ceremony. I was in my cap and gown, watching my parents argue and listening to my little brother cry. And there was no food, and I had work in about half an hour. If I was lucky, I could usually get away with driving my dad's truck there if he was sleeping, but wasn't the case that night. Anyway, I remember looking down at my diploma and thinking, this ain't it? This ain't it, Chief? This ain't it. And I could barely hear it over all the noise, but there was this commercial, car commercial. It was some random, like a Toyota Corolla or something like that. Super cheap. But, I mean, there it was. My little getaway car. Let me ask you again then. When was the first time you ever saw a car and felt it was something more? Right. Right. Well, there you go, kid. I know it's probably crossed your mind. It's definitely crossed mine. But, the thing, a few weeks ago, after the job, you know. Yeah, when I slapped you across the face a few times. Look, being what basically amounts to coworkers, it probably shouldn't have happened, but it did. And being what basically amounts to coworkers, I probably shouldn't be catching feelings, but I am. So, I can either take you home and we can call it a night, or you could go for a drive. So what'll it be, huh? Alright then.